In a coastal city in the south, as the year-end approaches, the sun still hangs bright in the sky. Naomi felt dizzy with heat as soon as she stepped out of the high-speed rail station. She sensed the salty and humid air, stopping to take off her coat and also Ryan's. Naomi juggled the luggage, big and small, almost engulfed by it. Ryan held onto the two coats, only his eyes visible in his small frame. From a distance, they looked like two moving piles of belongings. Her husband had passed away a few years ago, and she had also retired. Her son and daughter-in-law were busy year-round. Disapproving of her daughter-in-law, Naomi brought Ryan back to her hometown to take care of him. Now, nearing the Chinese New Year, she brought Ryan to stay for a while. Naomi was panting from exhaustion, her eyes scanning around. Her daughter-in-law, Elena, was nowhere to be seen, not even at the exit to pick them up. Levi, her son, had brought Elena home for the first time, and Naomi didn't like her from the start. Levi, a police officer, a public servant, was busy and tired. Naomi's ideal daughter-in-law was someone gentle, virtuous, and adept at managing the household. Elena, on the other hand, was tall, robust, assertive, and drove a big truck. Naomi couldn't understand how Levi had fallen for her. Exiting the station, Naomi had Ryan sit on the luggage. She sat on the roadside, twisting her chubby waist. The leaves above rustled. Time passed by, and Elena still hadn't arrived. She must be doing it on purpose. Naomi had told her the arrival time. It had been 2 hours already. Where was she? Naomi was furious, complaining fiercely in her heart. At that moment, Elena's call came. "Mom, where are you and Ryan?" "Waiting for you." A silver van skidded to a stop in front. Naomi frowned, watching Elena get out of the car. Elena apologized repeatedly. "Mom, I'm sorry, just came back from another city." Naomi snorted with her nose pointing to the sky. She knew Elena intentionally went out of town today, didn't she? Holding Ryan's hand, Naomi got into the back seat of the van, and Elena wiped off sweat, stuffing the luggage into the rear compartment. Back home, Levi sent a WeChat message. "Mom, you and Ryan arrived, right? I've been assigned to Dunco Town Police Station recently. I can only come back on leave. Take care at home." Naomi felt a bit disappointed, but her son's work was important. At her age, all she could do for her children was cook, tidy up the house, and take care of the grandchildren. Naomi drank a glass of water and rolled up her sleeves to work. She neatly stored the local specialties she brought, prepared a well-balanced lunch, and then systematically cleaned up the house. "Even dogs know how to dig a nest. You guys are like pigs rooting around." Naomi moved the sofa, revealing various bizarre things. She continued scolding. "You, as a woman, how do you manage your life?" Not getting any response, Naomi glanced at the room, finding Elena sprawled on the bed sleeping. At that moment, Ryan shuffled out of the bathroom, pants around his knees. "Grandma, I peed in my pants." Naomi's anger instantly skyrocketed. She approached, using a broom to slam the door loudly. "You sleep after eating, don't care about the house, and neglect the child. How did Levi marry such a wife like you?" Elena jolted awake from deep sleep, her heart pounding. Her anger flared up too. She walked to the door, met Naomi's disdainful gaze, and pointed to her dark circles. "I only slept at 2 in the morning last night. I have to go out to run errands later. Levi is amazing, marrying such an unreasonable wife. With his meager salary, he can't even satisfy the northwest wind. Should I stay at home to cook and take care of the child? Does the whole family want to go hungry?" Naomi was silenced, unable to respond, just staring at Elena. With a bang, the door closed. Naomi spat at the door. This world has turned upside down. Knowing it was not right, she couldn't resist sending a message to Levi. "Come back quickly, I can't stand being in your house." After a while, when Elena woke up from her nap and left home, Levi replied, "Did Elena upset you again? She's always like that. Don't argue with her." Levi sent a 200 yuan red envelope, saying, "Elena probably won't come home for dinner. Don't bother cooking. Take Ryan out for a meal." Naomi knew Levi wouldn't come back, but just out of frustration, she vented. Suddenly, she felt even more grateful for her biological son. After all, a daughter-in-law was an outsider. Naomi can't stay idle. Every day, she takes Ryan to the market, explores supermarkets, and brings back items from minced meat to paper towels and vegetables, big and small. Levi sends her messages every day, but not seeing him in person leaves a void in Naomi's heart. Like performing magic, She works in the small kitchen, making smoked meat, sausage, and sauce duck. She fries a pot of small fish, all Levi's favorites, anticipating his return home for the new year. Naomi takes photos of these delicious dishes and sends them to Levi. He responds with an emoticon drooling, followed by a picture of him eating instant noodles. This amuses and saddens Naomi. Cooking delicious food every day becomes more fulfilling, all in anticipation of Levi coming home for the new year. On the day before New Year's Eve, Levi sends a message saying that there is a shortage of grassroots police force, and he might not be able to come home for the new year. Naomi's heart sinks. Her son is busy before the new year, during the new year, and likely after the new year. Perhaps, in this month she's been here, she won't even see her son. In the evening, Naomi estimates that Levi should be off work and sends him a video call. The call is cut off, and Levi sends a message, "Mom, I'm on duty." "What's the matter?" Naomi sends a voice message, "Are you really not coming home for the new year? I've prepared so many dishes you love. Policemen are humans too, don't you need a break? If it's really not possible, I can come to your place and bring you the New Year's Eve dinner." Levi quickly replies, "No, the police station has a canteen, and there are a lot of people. Even if you send more, it won't be enough." Naomi wants to say more, but Levi mentions a disturbance caused by someone under the influence, and he has to respond to the call. Naomi's heart is uneasy, feeling that something is not right. They say a mother and son share a heart, and her eyelids twitch with anxiety. On New Year's Eve, Elena didn't go out to run errands and came back after a short trip in the morning. During lunch, Naomi asked, "Is Dunco Town far?" Elena, peeling an orange, paused, "Why do you ask?" Naomi gave her a displeased look. "Your husband can't come home for the new year, don't you feel sorry for him?" "I'm used to it," Elena chewed on the orange, "he's rarely at home throughout the year." Naomi's question was a subtle hint for Elena to offer to drive her there, but she seemed completely indifferent. Unhappy with Elena's response, Naomi said, "If he can't come home, I'll go see him, taking dumplings, sausages, and sauce trotters with me." Elena's tone grew stern, "Don't cause trouble for him. It's not good for him." Naomi frowned. Is a mother checking on her son considered causing trouble? Elena's tone became even firmer. "Anyway, you can't go. Don't expect me to take you." Worried that Naomi might sneak away, Elena kept an eye on her but, unfortunately, let her guard down. In the afternoon, while Elena listened to the sounds from the kitchen, she lay on the sofa, basking in the warm sunshine. Exhausted, her consciousness gradually blurred, and she unknowingly drifted off to sleep. In Elena's dream, she vaguely sensed that something was wrong. She woke up with a kick, finding the house eerily quiet, with Naomi and Ryan nowhere to be seen. On the table, there was a note with hastily scribbled words, "Ryan and I have gone to Dunco Town." Elena exploded like a lit firecracker. She called Naomi, but there was no answer. Trying again, the phone was turned off. Hastily, she called the head of the Dunco Town police station, asking him to help with a cover story. After coordinating their statements, Elena grabbed her keys and phone, rushing out of the door, driving the silver van in pursuit. At the Dunco police station, Elena saw Naomi. Similar to Elena's expectations, Naomi looked utterly dejected. The station chief informed them that Levi was on duty and didn't know when he would be back. As the sky darkened, with festive lights brightening up all around and firecrackers echoing in the distance, Naomi reluctantly left the carefully prepared New Year's Eve dinner at the station. On the way back, Elena stared ahead without uttering a word. Naomi seemed to realize her mistake, refraining from further complaints, silently holding Ryan in the back seat. By the time they reached home, it was already late. Outside the window, fireworks lit up the sky, and Naomi and Elena sat facing each other in silence, only the sound of utensils clinking after the meal. After dinner, Elena glanced at Naomi washing dishes in the kitchen, thinking that she probably wouldn't fuss anymore. She returned to her room, took out a phone from the drawer, sent a picture and a message, then put the phone away before heading to the bathroom for a shower. When Naomi felt her phone vibrate in her pocket, she didn't rush to check. Waiting until she heard the bathroom door lock, she quickly retrieved her phone. Opening it, she saw a message from Levi. The photo showed several lunch boxes neatly arranged, along with some other food items, and several police officers gathered around a table, enjoying their meal. Levi's message read, "Finally got to eat Mom's cooking." Tears welled up in Naomi's eyes. She wiped them away, sent Levi a video call invitation, and walked to the master bedroom, guided by the faint buzzing sound. Opening the drawer, she saw the video call invitation she had initiated on her phone. Naomi paused for just a moment, closed the drawer, exited the room, and quickly walked to the kitchen, pretending to continue washing dishes. Tears kept streaming down her face. She wiped them away with her sleeve, and more tears followed. After a while, Elena finished her shower. As expected, Naomi's pocketed phone vibrated. Levi's reply came, "Mom, I'm eating. Starving. No more video." During the first few days of the Lunar New Year, Naomi remained unusually quiet. Although she continued with her daily routine of cooking, doing household chores, and watching TV, there was a noticeable reduction in conversation. Sometimes, she would stare at the TV with vacant eyes. What was even stranger was that Naomi stopped sending messages to Levi and refrained from confrontations with Elena. Her newfound composure made Elena uneasy, and she felt particularly guilty whenever she left the house. It wasn't until the 5th day of the Lunar New Year that Naomi suddenly stopped Elena as she was about to leave with her bag. Her voice was clear and calm, "Elena, Levi has had an accident." "I know." That night, after finishing his work in Dunco Town, he drove back to the city area in heavy rain. The car, along with him, overturned off the mountain road, causing severe injuries. Although you coordinated with the station chief, the officers below accidentally let slip. I know you kept it from me to spare my worries. At my age, I've seen all kinds of storms. I can handle it. Take me to the hospital. They entrusted Ryan to Elena's cousin and went to the hospital together. Elena's previous excuses about transporting goods were, in fact, visits to the hospital. Levi had been transferred from the intensive care unit to a regular ward just before the Lunar New Year. He looked like a mummy, covered in several tubes for infusion, drainage, and monitoring. Only his eyes could move, and when he saw Naomi, he seemed anxious, staring with dilated eyes, struggling to articulate. Elena shrugged, "Don't worry, Mom is quite perceptive, you can't hide anything from her." In the past few days, Naomi had silently cried enough and prepared for the worst. When she finally saw Levi, she remained relatively composed. Elena reassured them, "It looks severe, but it's just a few broken bones, some cuts and bruises. Nothing vital was harmed. There will be some recovery, but with proper rest, he can heal." Elena's words sounded casual, but the panic, unease, and despair from that night were etched in her memory. Looking back, she shuddered at the thought. Naomi repeated, all right. Let's take it slow and focus on recovery." A burst of phone ringing interrupted Elena, who quickly muted it and walked to the corridor to answer the call. Naomi noticed the thermos on the bedside table was empty, so she picked it up to refill it with water. Passing through the corridor, she overheard Elena's conversation. "Today, he seemed a bit better. Mother-in-law knows now, it's better this way, avoids constant conflicts. She can come to the hospital to help take care of Levi, and I can go back to driving to earn money. Mom, I won't talk for long, I need to find the attending physician. Don't worry, if there's anything tiring, don't come, really don't come. Take care of Grandpa at home, I can handle it. Oh, you sent me more food again. I haven't finished the last batch you sent. All right, send it, I love eating." Elena emerged from the corridor, and Naomi quickly ducked into a nearby hospital room. When she came out, Elena had already walked away. Naomi watched her retreating figure, a wave of bitterness rising in her eyes. When her son faced difficulties, she was the one supporting this family alone. Previously, Naomi had always criticized Elena for being tall, driving a truck, lacking the grace of a woman. Now, Elena had become thinner, her shoulders slumped, devoid of the strength for arguments. Naomi wondered why she hadn't seen these changes before. She felt sorry for her son and realized that Elena was someone else's beloved daughter. Marrying into their family, enduring hardship and taking Naomi's temper, if it were her own daughter treated this way, she would go demand an explanation in the middle of the night. In the end, it was her own limited perspective, shallow heart, and narrow-mindedness. Naomi had a change of heart. Returning to the hospital room, she found Elena feeding water to her son with great care. A deep sense of gratitude and warmth welled up within Naomi. She should have understood long ago that from the day Elena entered their home, she became family with Levi. Having such a daughter-in-law was not only fortunate for her son but also for her. Naomi made up her mind that henceforth, she would treat Elena as she would her own daughter, disregarding distinctions between in-laws and treating each other with equal love and care,